1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Out there in guitar land, Mike Heading here, coming to you today with the classic old fiddle tune Cuckoo's Nest in the key of D. This is a fun old song. It's done in bluegrass circles, it's done in old time Irish jams. So this is one you might hear in a couple different styles. But what we're really going to focus on for this lesson is playing out of our chord shapes. It's a very kind of country or bluegrass way to think about playing a melody rather than just thinking of scales, right? The melody is coming from the scales, but it's also, you can also think in terms of the chord shapes that we're playing those melodies out of. So that's what we're going to kind of focus on for this lesson. I've got a basic A part and a basic B part, and then a variation for each part. Fiddle tunes are commonly played A, A, B, B. So this is also a great place to work on your improvising, right? You have a basic A part and then an A part variation. That's a great way to start improvising. I'll break down the full solo note for note just as I played at the beginning, and then we'll go in some backup, so kind of how to play the chords with strumming, some little runs you can do, a few little places on the neck you can play the chords. All right, let's start breaking down Cuckoo's Nest in the key of D. Here we go. All right, let's start breaking down this basic A part to Cuckoo's Nest. So let's play the first 5 measures. That'll kind of be like the opening melody line so you can hear it, and then we'll break it down. Here we go. Okay, so measure 1 is going to be our pickup into the solo, and we want to get up to this 3rd fret on the 2nd string, so this D note, and basically what we're going to do is we're just going to run up the notes of the scale below it. So I'm starting with an upstroke on the 3rd fret of the G string, so 1, 2, 3, and, so that's why I'm doing an upstroke because we're playing it on the and of beat 3. 3 and then open 2nd string, 4, down, and then and 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and then land 3rd fret with your 2nd finger. So you have 1, 2, 3. And if you're having trouble with that upstroke, starting it like on an upbeat, you could just count 1, 2, 3, and then just play. Just kind of skip that upstroke, but it adds a nice little effect. It's a little bit more of an intermediate level pickup too. You have so up, down, and then that starts measure 2. We're going to do 3 downstrokes on that D. So what I want you to think about here for this lesson is think about playing out of your chord shapes. So we're essentially playing out of this D. Even though we're using 2 different fingers, just think about that as the shape we're playing out of. So we play that 3 times 3 downstrokes, and then open high E string, and then 3rd fret, keep that finger down with an upstroke. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's put 1 and 2 together. We have 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go to an A chord. So again, we're going to think out of this chord now, right? So we're going from a D to an A. So really get those chord shapes in your mind. That's really going to help you. It's a lot less to remember if you think in the chord shapes, because then you're always safe. You're going to be playing something that works with that chord. So think in the chords as your framework, and then you can fill in the melody notes. That'll be an easier way to remember it. Okay? So we walk down, and then we play right here. 1st finger, 2nd fret, 2, open, and then right here I do a little shift. I shift down to my 2nd finger. So we play 2 downs on that, and then we play 2nd fret again, open B string. So you have, and I do that little shift right there because I'm going to a C chord next. That just kind of helps me get into that C. You could also do it this way, and then shift right there, but I like shifting a little bit earlier personally. So we have shift, and then we basically play the same melody that we just did over the D, but now we're going to play it over a C chord. So we're going to play 1st fret 3 times, and then ring finger 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then back to that 1st fret. So this is also good ear training, right? We have this melody, and now we're playing it down here over a different chord. So it adds a nice little theme to that melody. And then we're going to go open 2nd string, and then 2nd fret, 3rd string, open G twice. So look at how we're kind of mimicking that rhythm. So we played the same rhythm from the D and the C, and then on the A, and then now the G chord we played the same rhythm. So we have, let's do 2 into 5. We have, now our response rhythm. Now back to our opening rhythm. Now our response. Right? So we have, and then right here you shift down and play the 4th fret on the D string for open. Okay? So what we're doing there is we're getting down into this bigger D chord. So you can think of this shape down here. We're not going to put all those fingers down, but that's the shape we're thinking out of, right? So we went from this D chord here, using these 2 fingers, to an A, C, and then G kind of just open, right? The middle strings of your G are open, but that's still kind of the chord we're thinking out of. And then we're going back to this D here, right? So you can hear that change and that the melody is coming right out of those shapes, right? So we have into our C shape. I mean, you could even kind of mimic this chord there, like that. I might even do that. Something like that. Again, really thinking those shapes. That's a really important part of this lesson. And then into this shape here, D. Okay? And then we play a little response lick. We go. Like a classic fiddle ending lick in D. We're going to do, so from the end of measure 5, we go 4, open, and then put your index finger down on the 2nd fret of the G string, and we're going to do this little lick. Classic arpeggio. If you've heard the song Soldier's Joy, it uses that little lick. So we're playing the notes of a D chord, right? But we're playing them individually. Keeping my 1st finger down the whole time there. Good picking practice too. I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I'm just playing the first 4 notes of measure 6 over and over again. It's good picking practice. So we do that, we go, and then land on the 2nd fret, and then we do a little lick. We're going to go. Again, really playing those notes of the chord. We walk up 3rd fret, 2nd string, open high E upstroke, and then we come down the notes of a D chord. So 2, 3, 2, 4. Good picking practice there. I'm changing 4 strings there. I'm going 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string. Let's just practice that part. We actually land on the open 3rd string for a G. So we're going from a D to a G there. So we're going down the notes of a D chord and then G open. Okay? So let's practice that part. So we have from the end of measure 5, we have. You can even keep your middle finger down right here. Like that. So again, actually just loop that part because then we play that pickup again. Right? So you could loop basically measure 6 and 7 if you want to practice it. Starting from the end of measure 7, right? A little faster. So what I want you to work on there, that's good wrist angle practice on that lick. It's gonna feel like you want to go back like this to play that, but don't do that, right? See how my wrist is bending back like that? That's a common beginner mistake. Keep your hand out. You can have your thumb, you don't have to drop your thumb way down like that, but keep your hand, see how my wrist angle is consistent? You know, it can move slightly, but you don't want to do that, right? It's also going to be harder to mute that string. You're going to get tension in your shoulder as well, so try not to do that. That's probably one of the trickier parts of the song. That's why I'm practicing it a bunch of times. Let's do it from measure 6 again. So we have... Now a little ending lick. We're going to go... Just like a little ending lick that could be used for a lot of fiddle tunes. So we're going 4 open again, and then 2nd fret on the G string, and then 2, 4, 2. So keep that finger down. Don't lift it up. We're going, and then lift it up, open, and then 4 open on the D string. So you have. The other thing I think about there is, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but kind of look how my fingernails are more pointing up the fretboard than straight up like this, right? They're more pointing off to an angle. Let's see if you can see that. Kind of diagonally and up, right? So when I'm playing a lick like that, if you're like this, it's going to be kind of painful and hard to play a lick like that. So turn your fingers so your fingernails are kind of pointing more up the fretboard. That's going to increase your reach and make that lick easier. So we have, and then we go on the D string, 2 open, and then 4th fret, 5th string, open, 4th string. Just like a little ending lick. Right? So the whole lick sounds like this. Okay, so let's play that whole basic A part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.